Senator Ali Ndume, the senator representing Southern Borno, has said that the electoral process in Nigeria is deliberately complicated to allow for manipulation. The former senator majority leader recently questioned the need to create a new body solely for conducting elections every 4 years, arguing that the existing INEC is underutilized and could handle these responsibilities. He further expressed frustration with the complexity of Nigeria's electoral process, which he believes is designed to encourage manipulation. Well, joining me virtually to share his insights on this is Biodun Adewuni. He's a political analyst. Thank you for your time, Mr. Biodun.
Yeah, thank you. It's Biodun Adewuni, not Biodun Adewumi.
Oh, apologies for that, Mr. Adewuni.
All right.
Well, let me start off with the first question. How would you rate INEC's performance over the years?
Well, I want to also agree with Senator Ndume. If you have to give my rating for INEC over the years, I'll just give them, say, 30%.
30 over 100? Wow.
Yes, 30%. 30%.
Why is that?
As it is. Yeah, the INEC, I'll just say INEC is also causing the problem for themselves. They will give a guideline and all of a sudden they will change the rules in the middle of the game. So that is the first fraud with the electoral systems. Everybody know we all witnessed what happened in the last election, in the 2023 election. And with what has even happened with Edo elections too, I don't want to really give my verdict yet, but at least we've heard from the various observers. They mentioned what happened, and we have also seen things that has happened, like trying to upload a false result sheet, that is different, a lot of things. And one will begin to look at it, that where is the investment that the government has put into INEC over the years, especially on the IT, to make things very, very easy for Nigeria. So that's, I just want to rate INEC for now 30%.
All right. I mean, you seem to sort of pass a bulk of the blame to INEC, but there are other players, according to experts, when it comes to this electoral journey. You have political parties, you have umpires, you have observers. I mean, you even have citizens themselves, the role of citizens, and then the candidates. So, I mean, with other stakeholders, I mean, and INEC being, of course, the major stakeholder in this, how would you also rate their involvement?
Yeah, well, everybody is involved. The political parties are involved, but they are the main player. They are the people that change the games with the INEC, because the situation has changed in the electoral process right now. If you look at what is happening now, even the candidates themselves believe that, look, once you are able to sort out some things, forget about the so-called vote buying. It's happening. It's not as if it's not happening, but it's a distraction. The main game that is being played out now is to work on the system, work on the agencies.
I'm sorry, how is vote buying?
I agree with.
How is vote buying a distraction?
Yeah, it's a distraction in the sense that it's not. I wouldn't want to say that the vote buying is influencing the outcome of the election per se. With what has happened, the last election that happened, even despite the vote buying, we still find a lot of manipulations that took place. You want to believe that if you are able to buy votes, do you need to manipulate the election, falsify the result again? You will not want to do that. But because they just want to use that as a distraction and follow what they want to do. But I just believe that the challenge that we are facing is not only for INEC, but we also have the political parties have their blames. the security agencies too have their blames, because you can't have a credible elections without having a good security arrangements. You understand? Because if you are looking at it, the whole manipulation will start from the logistics angle of the INEC. Because why would you ask voters, electorate to be there by so time, and you will not be there on time? So this is the first manipulation in it. And before you know it, another manipulation will also take place at the collation center. Whereas the issue of the electronic transmission of results has largely been abused as it is presently. You can see what has happened at the last election, that they had to be waiting for 2 local governments for about, that is almost about going to almost 48 hours after the election. So these are things that we all need to look at and believe that why is the online transmission of results not working? The issue happened at the last election, the 2023 elections.
I'm sorry.
Nobody is really talking about it.
You said the online transmission of results not working.
Yes.
I believe you're referring to the IREV.
Yes, the IREV.
But the IREV did work. I mean, if it's on the aspect of it being working, it did work. Maybe some results got in late, but I mean, Nigerians could actually refresh and then track as those results were coming in real time. So is it about its functionality or its management now?
It's not about the manipulation of the whole thing. We heard at the last, just concluded the election, where it was reported that a particular result was on the IREF portal, and that was not the exact report, the exact result, because they look at it and look at the numbers of accreditation compared to the total vote cast. It doesn't really tally. And I believe INEC said they are going to investigate that. We don't know what's going to really come out of it. You understand? So these are areas of challenges that we are talking about. But the issue is, let's ask ourselves this question: why will numbers of accredited voters be lesser than the total vote cast? Where are they getting the excess votes that they are inputting in the result sheets? So these are areas that INEC needs to take responsibilities and make sure that whatever results that has been captured at the polling unit, according to their guideline, should be able to, they need to upload and transmit immediately for everyone to see. It's not happening. These are the areas of manipulations. I quite agree that the manipulation is not done by INEC alone. You have other agencies that are involved, and you also have some at times the political parties too. Maybe they can decide to throw their weight behind the actor of the game. So everybody is involved, but I believe that if we have a credible election, the umpire will also be free from all these biases.
All right.
Because as it is, it's giving Nigeria bad name. Mr.
Adewuni, let's double down to other stakeholders now, particularly political parties, for instance, where, at the primary level, let's even start with the nomination, the cost of, the nomination forms, the cost of purchasing these forms. Many of these parties, particularly the frontline parties, runs into, hundreds of millions. And then someone who is vying for office, who has spent so much, at the end of the day would almost do anything to ensure, he gets that vote. So I would like you to speak on issues like that.
Okay. Yeah, you are very right, because I would have even thought that the IPAC should take that issue up, because their role is to also advise the INEC on this, and the party party will tell anybody that they want to use it to generate fund, but it's having a negative effect because it's not even allowing the party to throw up credible candidates for the election. And when a candidate is coming in to purchase a form for 30 million, 100 million, obviously the person will want to do anything to make sure that, the candidate will want to do anything to make sure that he's able to get the election, because the latest strategy of politicians now is that, please, in whatever means, let me just have the mandate. Whether by any means, let me have the mandate, then we can meet in courts, knowing fully well that the process of judiciary something does not really favor in most cases. So these are things that we look at it. I quite agree with you that the issue of the high cost of a nomination form or the administrative charges of the parties are just too much, because it's not going to really encourage a lot of, it's going to discourage people that are credible for elections. Because if I'm putting 100 million naira down, for instance, for a form, and I want to make sure I want to get the votes of the people, then I'm prepared to spend another 1 billion naira to spend. So where will I get the money back? Because politics has become an investment. It's not serving people anymore. Politics, so it's something that we should know. But it's not good for our democracy anyway.
All right. Talking about politics being monetized, there's also talks around independent candidacy, being, of course, in the front burner. Do you think that independent candidacy would provide some sort of solution in this regard?
Well, in my own view, I still feel it's going to really help, because if we have independent candidacy, parties will not be charging that amount for their candidate, because I think it's important. Independent candidacy goes with a lot of value. You can't come out to say, I want to run for a particular position if you are not sure of yourself. I still believe that will also help in a lot of ways. And it will also help to bring down the undue influence of the party over candidates. Then you will know this is the candidate that you have invested on, and you want the candidate to deliver the real dividend of democracy for you. The parties are not helping the matter as it is. You can see a lot of issues coming up here and there. At the end of the day, is candidate with money back candidates that will not be after the mandate. Once they get there, they are there for themselves. That is it. So I believe the independent candidate is the way to go. I fully support that. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Adewuni, let's also look at the role of the judiciary in all of this. We are beginning to see a trend where once elections are not won at the polling units, then they go to the judiciary, and then we see an upturn in some scenarios. So, it appears like the judiciary, to a very large extent, now happens to be the final umpire, not just, in the shadows this time around, but even a major player in determining the final outcome of election results. Even though constitutionally, yes, they have a role to play, but should they be this involved?
Well, it's not a good development, because you find a situation whereby just 5 or 7 people will determine the fate of millions of people that have been there to vote a candidate. They are choosing candidates. Along the line, the result is being manipulated, and the next thing you hear, go to court. Of course, if someone is telling you go to court, he knows that he has a way. He has his own way there. But it's not good. Judiciary needs to really wake up, because if you look at what we are facing, it's no more a precedent judgment anymore. Judgment of, if you say, okay, this is a judgment that has been taken at the Supreme Court at so time, I can tell you the same case that you will thought that the reference will be made on that particular case will not be the same. Another issue will come. So a lot of things that the judiciary needs to do. Thank God we have a new CJN, and she has promised to go with a new reform of on judiciary. It's important the judiciary save this democracy. They have a constitutional role, but they need to play it according to what the book says, because people are beginning to lose faith in the election. You can see the numbers of people coming out for the election. And just because of what has been happening now, you can see even the local government election right now is becoming a comedy. A comedy that once you have a ruling party there, the ruling party must take, it's going to be winner takes all the councillors, all the local government chairmen. Where is it done? And these are people that you will say that, oh, they are not really performing well. So people are beginning to say, what is the essence of going to queue up in the sun or in the rain just because you want to vote a candidate? The vote is becoming, I mean, the election is becoming a kind of a skit comedy to people. And they feel that why would anybody waste his or time going to queue up for for 2-3 hours? At the end of the day, the result, the votes will not count.
All right, Mr. Adewuni, I'm afraid we really need to go.
Really look at.
We really need to go, but in 30 seconds, bullet points, what is the way forward? How can Nigeria build a credible electoral system? Bullet points, 30 seconds.
Yes. Yeah, first we will have to start with INEC. INEC needs to give a definite guideline that they will need to follow strictly on it. Nigerians also need to be, they should also be, what would I say? They need to also be part of this democracy, be watchful, so that we should not be used by these politicians for every 4 years or every 3 years politicians. People should know that this has to do with the life of Nigerians and for the generations that are yet to be, for the future generation. So these are things that we need to do. And people should just forget about the so-called stomach infrastructure in the election, because these people have seen it as an investment. Political entrepreneurs are just around the corner. They pay you, you give them vote. At the end of the day, what does it really pay your children's school fees or anything? So people need to really get that in place, and more so, our investment in INEC concerning the electronic transmission of results needs to be used well, and also the accreditation needs to. These are things that we need to look. Even the academicians that are also the umpire. I'm talking of the professors. Some of them are professors. At the end of the day, they manipulate election for the politicians. And when they get back to the school, they will now go on ASU strike again. Then everybody needs to wake up. Let's build this democracy.
All right.
In the interest of Nigeria. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your time on the program, Mr. Biodun Adewuni. Once again, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dabo.